Hi, second graders, it's Mr. Schaefer. I'm here to start a new unit in math today. This is really because we are going to end up learning about multiplication for the first time. So today we're going to be talking about using models for multiplication. I'm going to show you exactly what that means. Before we start using models to multiply, I want to talk a little bit about some vocabulary you're going to need. The first thing you're going to need to understand are equal groups. So equal groups are groups that have the same number of objects in each group. I'm going to show you an example of that. So how many groups do I have right now? I have 4 groups, 4 circles. And inside of each circle are how many stars? I have 3 stars inside of each circle. These are equal groups because each group has the same number of objects inside of it. That's what makes it equal. Then we're going to talk about repeated addition. Repeated addition is joining equal groups of objects. So we're going to join them by adding repeatedly over and over again. So look inside of each of these groups. How many stars is in each group? 3. I have 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So I'm going to add 3. That's how many stars are in the first group. Plus another 3 in the second group. Plus another 3 in the third group. Plus another 3 in the last group. And if I do that, I can get how many stars I have all together. So let's try that. I can use whatever method I want. I could use manipulatives. I could draw a picture of 3 plus 3. I could use my fingers. I could use my brain. So let me think. 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 3. So now I have 6 plus 3 is 9. And plus another 3. So now I have 9, 10, 11, 12. So my answer would be 12. And let me just check my work. I can check my work by counting the number of stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got the same answer. So if I'm trying to total up the number of stars I have, I can use repeated addition to help me figure that out. I can do 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 12. All right, now that we've learned some vocabulary, we're going to be talking about some real-life examples of things that come in equal sets or groups. So here's some real-life examples for you. The first example is groups of 2. One person has 2 hands. One pair of socks comes with 2. So those are a couple examples of groups of 2. Here's some examples of groups of 4. There are 4 tires on one car. So if the car was a group, it would be equal groups with other cars that have 4 tires. There are 4 sides in a square. That's another group of 4. Then groups of 5. If you're talking about groups of 5, on one hand there are 5 fingers. On one flower there are 5 petals. So you can think about these real life examples when you're trying to understand equal sets or equal groups. All right, we're going to try a problem now. This problem says Katie has 4 guitars. Each guitar has 6 strings. How many strings are there in all? Well, I'm not just going to add 4 plus 6 because that's not really what the question is asking. It's saying each guitar has 6 strings. So let's think about how to solve this. When we solve a problem like this, a multiplication problem, the first thing we want to think about is how can we model this story? In other words, what kind of picture can we draw to get an understanding of how many strings there would be total? Each guitar is a group because each guitar has the same number of strings. So there are 4 equal groups. I'm going to draw 4 circles to show my 4 guitars. Each guitar has 6 strings, so each group has to have 6 strings. So when I look at my equal groups, how many strings do I have to draw inside each one? 6, right? Let's do that. 6 strings in the first one, 6 strings in the next one, 6 strings in the third one, and 6 strings in the fourth one. Now, how can we find the total number of strings in 4 guitars? Any ideas? How can we find the total number of strings in 4 guitars? I know each one has 6, and there are 4 groups of 6. We can use repeated addition. Like we talked about before, we can add the number 6 4 times. I see we have 6 here, plus another 6, plus another 6, plus another 6. And if you do that, another way to do it is to just count up each string. It's going to take a little bit longer, but you could count up each string 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So whether you add the number 6 4 times, you could do that in your head, you could do it on paper, you could draw, you could use manipulatives, whatever you want to use. You can add the number 6 4 times to get your answer of how many strings there are. And there are 24 strings. So there are 4 groups of 6. We just drew a model of that. 4 groups of 6 is the same as 24 all together. So Katie has a total of 24 strings. All right, it's your turn to practice. You are going to find things around the house that come in equal groups. You're going to represent how many items there are in 3 of those groups using pictures and repeated addition. You're going to describe using these sentence frames that we just used. There are blank groups of blank. Blank groups of blank is the same as blank all together. Let me model this for you really quick in case you're confused. So I found 3 cases of sparkling water. My wife loves to drink this sparkling water. Inside each case, there are 8 cans of sparkling water. And I have 1, 2, 3 of these boxes. So each of these boxes is an equal group because inside of each box, there are 8 cans. So what do I have to do to find out how many cans there are all together? I have 8 cans in each box, and there are 3 boxes. What do I have to do to find out how many cans there are all together? Well, I can say there are 3 groups of 8. There are 3 boxes with 8 cans. So now in my head or on paper, I have to think 8 plus 8 plus 8. And if I do that, I can do it kind of fast because I can say 8 plus 8 is 16. I know that. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, I held up 6 fingers, my bad. 8 plus 8 is 16. Plus another 8, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Now I got 24. So 3 groups of 8 is the same as 24 all together. So your job is to find something around your house that's a group of 3. It has the same number of items in each equal group, and you're going to use repeated addition to figure out how many items there are total. All right, good luck, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.